Hey everybody, Omar here, the Knife Shark Guy, and this is part 2 of my entire collection, so let's hurry up and get started. This is the Kershaw Junkyard Dog 2. 1725 Galian design. It's got the gray battleship color on there, the G10 on it, and the engraved rivets on it. Really nice. This one is a Junkyard Dog 1. And what's interesting about this knife is I just learned that the scales are not aluminum. I actually thought the scales were aluminum. They're not. They're titanium. Really interesting. 13C 26N steel. 1720 is the model number. Galian, once again. Galian design. Tim Galian design. It's got the rivets also, only on the titanium version. The rivets are engraved in there. You can actually feel the rivets on this one. It's got 1720 on the model number on the back. Really kind of cool looking. It's got no step and fuel, as if though it were a plane that you're stepping into. Really cool. And the pocket clip basically got, I think it pretty much has the name, the Junkyard Dog. Fantastic. This one is Kershaw Storm, featuring the Tech Trek grip feature. You can still find this material today on the Kershaw Blur. They kept that in their designs. Really nice pocket clip with the circles on it, like a cyclone storm. Recurve blade. Steel is 14C28N. Made in the USA. Kershaw Storm 1755. Kershaw Storm 2. Excuse me. Kershaw Storm 1. There you have it. This knife, I'm not quite sure that this is actually the first release of this knife because it doesn't feature the Tech Trek on it. It actually has this sort of sandpaper, I don't know what that is, sort of grippy thing. It actually pretty neat, but it also kind of, I think, grady. Not as enjoyable as a Tech Trek. Same recurve blade on this knife, only a smaller knife. Again, this is the twin or the big small knife collection. This is part of my big small collection case, or twin knife case, whatever you want to call it. Kershaw Storm with the recurve blade, 1470, excuse me. Made in the USA, Ken Onion design, Kershaw Storm. And this one is the Lee Williams design energy knife. Again with the Tech Trek on there. Very nice. Drop point blade style. Kershaw energy knife because the opening mechanism on it, as you can see, is detached from the knife itself. It's not a normal flipper. See that? The flipper kind of just hides, goes away, comes back. Basically, the way it works is you press on the tang up at the top, almost like a front flipper piece, and then the knife comes out. This is a manual knife. Again, that army green color. I mean, this looks like maybe if you were in the military, they'd issue you one of these. Sort of like the Junkyard Dog, that military gray color. And the Kershaw Energy, I believe this is the 1470. Boy, I know my model numbers by now. This is the smaller version of the same knife. People actually preferred the smaller version over to the big clunky 1475 version. Same exact knife, nothing really changed except the dimensions. It's smaller. Alright, so there you have it. The first set here. I'm going to go ahead and move these now aside. Bring out the other pieces in this collection. Like I said, I just wanted to go through these knives really quickly. Basically for the benefit of anybody out there looking to collect Kershaw and don't know where to start. So give you an idea. You don't necessarily have to collect the knives in the way that I did it, which is what makes everybody's collection unique. You can do whatever you want in your collection. I decided to go this route. And that's what happens with these collections. You just collect the knives, and you start grouping them in different ways, and so that's what happens. All right, so let's continue on. First knife I'm holding is from my favorite Kershaw designer, R.J. Martin, the Kershaw Groove with the G10 inlay on it. Right there, screwed in. Very nice feel to that. What I love about this knife is the fact that the blade actually mimics the G10 inlay with the little wave texture on that. That's both on the front and the back. This is a 3-way pocket clip knife. You can put the pocket clip there, put the pocket clip there. Oops. Sorry, made a mistake. 2-way pocket clip right there or there. So, Kershaw Groove. One of the smoothest budget knives you will ever hold in your life. This is not a ball bearing knife. See how that falls shut? It's not a ball bearing knife at all. This is a washer knife and it falls shut so simply. Kershaw Groove. Kershaw Zing, its twin. Again, same blade. The material on this knife is not G10. It is called Zytel, which is a mixture of quite a few materials molded together to form a very hard plastic-like type grip and feature. Kershaw Zing, again, action is the same as the big brother, the Kershaw Groove. There you go. Kershaw Overdrive 2. Or is the Kershaw Overdrive? Yeah, Kershaw Overdrive. Lee Williams design, once again, 1770. Kershaw Overdrive 2. Mimicking the Zing with the Zytel. Very nice. Perfect little office knife. If you ever wanted to carry a knife in the office, this would be the one. What's unique about this knife, once again, is the mechanism inside the knife. There's a little wheel inside this knife in the pivot with teeth in it. And this little lever here also has teeth, and the teeth match up, creating the spinning overdrive effect when you pull it. And it does feel different than a regular flipper if you ever get a hold of one of these knives. Very addictive to flip. Kershaw Overdrive 2 and the big brother, the Overdrive 1. Big main difference, it's a frame lock. Also, the steel is 14C28N, unlike the little brother, which is Mauve 13 steel. So, frame lock, Lee Williams design on there. G10 instead of Zytel this time for the big brother. Really nice. Kershaw Cyclone, one of my favorite knives in the entire Kershaw lineup. Why? Real simple. Look at there's a switch on there. It's a dual knife. If you want a manual knife, you got a manual knife, right? If you want a spring assist, push the wheel up, close the knife, and now you got spring-assisted action. So that's definitely a must-have. Kershaw Cyclone, designed by Ken Onion. As I've said before, majority of your knives, when you collect these knives that are Kershaw discontinued, at least 60% of your collection will be a Ken Onion knife. He was a premier designer between 1998 and 2010, when he left to go join ZT for a short time to create the 350 series, and then took off for CRKT. So here we have the smaller version of the Cyclone in gray or white. Looks, they say it's gray. Same thing. Dual switch on it. Now, one thing that's interesting to note about the Kershaw Cyclone, they did re-release the version again, minus this dual action on it. They got rid of that and just released it as a spring-assisted blade, I believe. Yeah, got rid of the manual slash spring-assisted action and just made it a spring-assisted action in the second release of this knife. Kershaw Boa. Once again, designed by Ken Onion. This one is in S60V. It also came in S30V and also 440V, the oldest version of the knife in the older steel. Kershaw Boa. It has these ridges on it for grip. All aluminum scales, black DLC coated. One thumb stud on one side only. If you wanted to do it for the left-handed, you could do that. Simply take the pocket clip, put it on this end of the knife, unscrew this thumb stud, flip it over, put it on this side, and you've got yourself a lefty knife. Kershaw Boa, spring-assisted action. Okay. Came in black, obviously, for black boa, like as in a boa constrictor. And finally, the Kershaw Baby Boa, which is, again, like the Kershaw Overdrive, another perfect office knife for you. If you want to carry in the office, you can whip this out in front of anybody. No one's going to be threatened by it. It's interesting to note about this knife. You can see the torsion bar right in there. Check that out. Torsion. Model number on this knife is 1585BR. And the model number on this one, 1580. And you'll usually find that in succession with the model numbers when you're collecting. One will be like a 1580, the other one will be a 1585. Usually the smaller version of the knife will have the larger number. So there you have it. My twin collection all done. And I will come back for part 3 of this series. Just going over all my knives in the collection. And I will see you guys once again in a bit.